welcome back to another episode. I'm not exactly sure what episode we're up to. I think it's 40 something. Seriously, you would not believe how many times I've tried to record this podcast. It's just crazy. So I know it's been a month since I last recorded, but I hope to get this one up today. I'm recording in my room. I was going to record outside, however there's an event on in my town this weekend and this car is just coming up and down our street. It's really loud and noisy, so yeah, I'm not going to record outside. We got a new little table and chairs for our front porch, but yeah, it's really nice. I was actually sitting out there this morning. I was doing some knitting on a pair of my socks and watching podcasts, but yeah, I thought no, I'm not going to record out there today, so maybe next time I will record out there. But I have a couple of finished objects. One I don't actually have here, but I can show you photos of it. The other one is a half object, and the other one is a finished object. Words out. I have received a couple of things in the, well, 3 things in the mail. None of which are actually yarn. I feel like I haven't bought any yarn in a while. I've bought fibre from the wool stash, but I haven't actually purchased yarn in a while. I feel like the last time I bought yarn was either the D-Stash from Amber O'Brien or at the Sheep Show. I haven't really been buying yarn. I was watching Kay, who is the Crazy Sock Lady here on YouTube, and she was talking about in one of her recent episodes about I can't remember what she called it, but she's basically going to be trying to shop her stash next year. I actually went through my stash the other day and I have it in a big, it's over there, I'm going to go get it, a big tote bag. I have the majority of my sock yarn. A lot of those are my Gilmore Girls colorways from Flock and Needle, which she's no longer dyeing yarn, so I will admit I'm kind of holding on to those, but I really need to use them. As you can see, the white cupboards behind me, they're my stash cupboards, as I've named them. One has, I really need to reorganize one of them better. It doesn't really have a lot of yarn as such, just kind of bits and bobs, whereas the other one has yarn, it has patterns, actual pattern books. Most of those are on my shelf though, but the old school Click-Eaton kind of paper patterns for knitting and crochet, so I have a bunch of those. Some of my fabric is in there, some of my spinning stuff is in there. Obviously not my spinning wheel, it's out over there, and I'm actually thinking about taking it out on the porch and doing some spinning there, since it's a nice area and it will actually fit out there as well, especially in summertime when the weather is really nice. But yeah, she was talking about shopping her stash and only really buying yarn, I guess being more kind of conscious of why you're buying yarn, if you need it for a certain project or an order or something like that. I mean, I don't really need to buy yarn. I need to go get some yarn for my fibre share swap, which needs to go out soon. Sorry, the lane's going. Oh, that was a bit low. Sounds like one of those old school planes, actually. We do actually have an airport here, but tiny. was I on my phone for? I can't even remember. But yeah, just being more, I guess, conscious of why you're buying yarn and all that kind of thing. So actually that's what I was doing. So by next Saturday I need to have sent it out. I'm actually getting one from Canada. I had chosen like domestic shipping, so I only swap with people in like for me to send a package I only send within Australia, but they've sent me someone who's in New Zealand, which is totally fine. That's pretty close anyway, and I've never had any issues with any packages going to New Zealand or coming from New Zealand when I've purchased from there. So but anyway, this is one of my finished objects. As you can see by the date of this photo, I had it finished quite a while ago. This is actually from I just got this online. It's just a fox toy. It's actually a bit bigger than what I thought, and it's for one of my friend's children. And the other one, my other finished object is this. This is the Bells Beanie by Amber O'Brien. This is the large size. The yarn that I use for this is Ms. Click Clack in her Darling Road DK base, and the colourway is Turkish Delight. You can still get this colour, she still dyes this one up. So I would probably make a medium if I was to do it again. If you get the pattern for this, I really like the way this hat is constructed. If you have the pattern and you've done the brim, I really like that. If you get the pattern, you'll know what on earth I'm talking about. But yeah, I really like it. Like I said, I'd probably do the medium if I was to do it again. I did get a free coupon code because I was a tester for that, and I did pick up the Adventurous wrap that Amber released not too long ago. I'm planning on making it in this colour. Now you may remember I was knitting another hat out of it, but I've since frogged it. So this is the Bellissimo 8 ply, and it's in this mustard colour. I have to say, I will wear this colour in accessories, but I will not wear it in clothing. I work in early childhood. I'm dealing with pee and poo every day, so yeah, I don't really want to wear it as like clothing. In a hat or a scarf or something, it's fine, but yeah, there's an inside joke with some of my friends who work in the same industry that we deal with poo. We don't want to have to wear it, like full blocks of it. One of the tops that I actually got from City Chick, it's like a green flowy top, and it actually come in green and this colour, and I went, yeah, no, I'm going for the green because I like the green better than this colour. But I plan on doing that, and I also picked up a new set of needles to do that. This is a 4mm or 40cm cable from Knit Pro. I love their zings. I'm pretty sure they have interchangeable sets of the zings, which I may look at one day. But yeah, I really like their fixed circulars. And while I was there, I got this from Sew Yarn Special in Ballarat. It's a really awesome yarn shop. They have fabric and all these other bits and pieces. It's amazing. And I also got a 2.5mm on a 60cm cable. I was actually thinking about doing a Cozy Memories blanket, but I don't know. I still can't make up my mind about that, so I got those. And they're really reasonably priced as well. And I don't know if I will put this grey faux fur pom-pom on that hat yet. Obviously I haven't cast it on yet. I'm trying to kind of finish some more of my socks before I do anything else. Another project that I ripped out, you may remember, I had a pair of socks, oops, so we all unravel, in this is the unicorn colour from Knit Picks from their Felici. I've obviously frogged that, and I really want to do 2 at a time socks again, so I got out my needle for that. This is another pair of Knit Pro Zings in the 2.5. I always knit my socks on 2.5. It's just my preferred method. I knit a 64 stitch sock. I am a size 8 Australian, ladies, if you were wondering. So yeah, I'm going to try to cast on some 2 at a time socks again once I've got the couple of pairs off the needles that I'm currently working on. My other current projects are being held in my acquisitions, so I'm just going to do the acquisitions first. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll have already seen this. My birthday is this coming Tuesday. I will be 34. I know a lot of people are like, no you're not. I'm like, yeah I am. They don't believe I am as old as I tell them I am. I mean, it's not old, but you know what I mean. They're like, oh, I thought you were like 28. I'm like, I'll take it. So I've always wanted one of these bags, and I went, you know what, bugger it. For my birthday this year, I'm going to treat myself to a Fringe Supply Co bag. So I got this in, I think it was a week ago, and I'm just obsessed with it. The irony of ironies though, because, you know, it's Murphy's Law and all that, you know. When I'd ordered this, I was going on to Ravelry, and there's a group, I need to find it now because I know I'm telling you about it. It's called Australian Knitters. You guys can see it there. And in that thread, in that group, there is a thread for Oz Fibercraft D-Stash/trade. There's also miscellaneous craft D-Stash. Well, in that the Fibercraft one, someone had listed, I don't know if they've still got it there or they've deleted it. I'll quickly have a look. I was so annoyed that I missed it. I missed it by like 30 minutes. I was so annoyed. Right. Let's see. I think it might still be on here. Doesn't help when people have, you know, 500 things in the thread. But maybe it's not on here anymore. They may have deleted the post because it's sold. Yeah, I think they did. Anyway, they were selling a light grey version of this bag, and as you can see, I've already put some of my favourite pins on it. And it was only $35. That included postage, and apparently they'd never used it, and I'm like, you spent that much on one of these bags and you never used it? I'm using the crap out of this thing. Like, I have a project in this one, and I'll get to the other one in a minute. So I was bummed, and I was like, oh damn it, because I had thought, like, once I'd got this, I was like, oh, you know, one day I'd like to maybe get another one. Well, the universe must have heard me, because the lady that was selling the other light grey one, I'd sent her a message and said, look, if the sale falls through, I'd like to be next in line to purchase it. So a little, maybe like a week later or something, she messaged me and she said, look, I have another one in blue, and that's one of the colours that I looked at, but I liked the grey better. And she goes, I have a blue one. She goes, it's the same price as the grey, $35. That included shipping from New South Wales. She goes, I'm happy to offer it to you, you know, before I list it. So of course I jumped on that. It was a little bit dirty. I think she may have used this a bit more than the other one, and there was pin marks in the front of the bag, which I put, obviously, as you can see, I've put some of my own pins on there just to kind of cover it up a little bit. So I think maybe she's used this one more than the grey, but it's the blue one of it, and I love it. So because I was like sitting there and I was reading through my messages on Ravelry, and I'm like, oh my god. I was like, what? And I was like, you know that bag, my grey bag that I got for my birthday this year, my birthday present to myself? She goes, the overpriced knitting bag, yeah? And I'm like, yes. Anyway, I'm like, there's a blue one that the same lady that had the light grey one is selling, same price. I'm like, she's like, well, you're gonna buy it, aren't you? And I'm like, yeah, I think I might. So I jumped on it. So yes, it's exactly the same. And I noticed that because I followed them on Instagram, and they've liked a few of my photos. So I'm like, oh, this one just doesn't sit as nicely. I think because it's been used a bit more. They're actually having a sale if you're in the US. Jump on that, but I think it's only today. So, but yeah, I love it. So yes, I've been using these like mad. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen this part of this bag this morning that I took it when we had coffee. So I have sock projects in both of these bags. So this is my half object. This is the London Bee Ridge sock pattern by the Knitting Expat, who is Mina Phillip. Just checking my time. I was going to make these as longer socks, but as I was making them, I'm like, no, I want to make them shorty socks. So I did. They obviously need to be blocked, but I'm waiting for the other one to be finished. And I did an afterthought heel on this sock, and I have to say I don't like afterthought heels. I'm just going to do my heel as I knit the sock like I normally would. And I did the pattern on the top and the bottom of the sock. Some people were actually asking me if, like when I posted on Instagram, if like you can feel it. You really can't. And yeah, I don't like how I did the heel. I don't like it. This yarn is one that I actually got in a swap from Pretty Twisted Knots. I believe they are on Facebook. And this is 100 grams, 360 meters of hand-dyed sock. It doesn't say like what, you know, the ratio to merino versus nylon, but I don't mind this this pattern. I think when I do it again, I would just do it on the top of the sock because it makes it go faster. And I did have to do with the afterthought heel a bit of a patch-up job in the corner of the heel on the other side, but they fit me really well. These sock blockers are also another acquisition, which I'll get to in a minute. I have the other one, oops, going here. And what I will say about this sock yarn, I actually think this base is from the Woolen Mill. I think it's the sock yarn, the undyed sock yarn you can get from the Woolen Mill, because I remember I knitted with this ages ago and it was hurting my hands a little bit because it is a lot thicker compared with the other sock yarns, and I compared it to one of my other socks and it's actually wider. It's the same amount of stitches, but because of the thickness of the yarn, it makes them a little bit, it's just a smidgen wider. It's maybe not even a quarter of an inch. No, it's really not even that. But I don't know, it's a little bit wider, but it still fits my foot, so that's fine. So that is in my grey Spring Supply Go bag. Let's put the other one back in there. Then in my new to me, blue one, I have finally made a large amount of progress on my paranormal socks. This yarn is by Lovebird Lane Yarns, the lovely Julianne. If you have not checked her out, go and check out her podcast and her hand-dyed yarns because they are awesome. So when I last podcast, as you can see, I've done the heel. I did that last night. When I last podcast, I think I was maybe to this black stripe here, so I've made a lot of progress. I actually had to rip out my heel and start it again. I don't know, maybe it's because I haven't knit heels in a while, but I messed up the heel. And for those of you who don't know, I follow the Knitting Expats German short row heel. I love it. It's really easy to follow when you don't mess it up. Yeah, it's just an easy heel to do, and yeah, I'm definitely not going to do the afterthought heel again. I don't like that. I'll just do my short row heel. And yeah, I mean, because of where the stripes are, as you can see, there's like a bit of a funny bit happening there, but I don't mind. I don't think I will try to match up the stripes on these socks. I'm not one of those people that's like, I have to have, you know, the stripes have to match, or, you know, they're not matching socks. Like, I'm not like that. If you're like that, that's your jam. You do you. But I don't care. Like, they're the same colours, so it doesn't bother me. I'll put it on the, oops, so I was working on these this morning while I was watching some podcasts. I'll put these on my sock blockers. These are the cheapest sock blockers. Seriously, someone was destashing them on one of the Facebook groups. $8. $8 for the pair. And shipping was $2. And they're like handmade wooden ones, so I will show you what they look like on the sock blocker. I don't know, for me, I don't know about you guys, but when I use like self-striping yarn, I don't like to do patterns with self-striping yarn. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I want to show off like the stripes. I don't know, but I'm not one of those people that likes to do patterns on self-striping socks. I'm just not. So these socks are a little bit, oops, and I think I probably, like, the sock blocker is a little bit small for the sock, but you get the idea. So that's it there. So I don't have too much more to go on that. I may, when I cast on the next one, do it toe up. Just because I really, and I've mentioned this before, I hate doing the Kitchener. I really do. I fudged the last one on that other sock. Because I was just like, I just want it to be done. But yeah, this has kind of been my current project that I've picked up over the past like few days. Then also with my sock blockers, she included this little card, and this is really good for spinners as well as knitters and crocheters. So on here it has all the different thicknesses of, you know, your hand spun, so you can see what kind of weight of hand spun you're going to get. And then on the other side it actually has all the different sizes of needles and crochet hooks, and how many wraps per inch you need to knit with each size, which is good if you're looking for a specific yarn for a specific project. And it also has it in like the actual sizes, so US and UK sizes, but then it also has it in millimeters, which is good as well. So I thought that was a handy little thing to have. Then I've also been at the sewing machine over the past few weeks. I have another one of these bags, but I forgot to bring it. I followed a pattern on YouTube, and I'll try to remember to link it down below, for this little drawstring bag with handles. Looks better when there's yarn in it. It does stand up on its own when there's yarn in it. There's just no interfacing. It is lined on the inside, as you can see. So it's that one. And then yesterday, oh my god, this did my head in yesterday, seriously. I just have a ball of yarn in there just so that it would sit up. But this is like a thicker canvas, and I kind of wanted to do, you know, the one handle like on the Fringe Supply Co bags. But what happened when I was sewing it, and I don't even know where that bit was now. It didn't catch all the other layers, and so there was like a gap like this big. I was so annoyed. But I have this fabric in this pinky colour. I feel like it looks like watercolour, and I also have it in a blue, so I don't know if I will make more of these bags with it, or I will do some zippered bags with it, because I have quite a few zips left as well. But yeah, I thought it was a cute bag. I don't know if I'll do one handle or two handles. I just kind of wanted to try it out. And then I had some faux leather that I'd had when I was using my Cricut machine, which I sold because I wasn't using it, didn't really have the time for it. So I made a little notions pouch. This is probably a little bit big. I probably could have made it a bit smaller. I didn't line it because it doesn't really need to be lined, but as you can see in here, I have some a tin of stitch markers. I'm really into these ones, the ones that are like a paper clip but they look like a light bulb. Really love them, especially for socks. I have some of my donut stitch markers that I got at Sheep Show, and just a bunch of little random ones. In here I actually got this from an Etsy store in the UK. It just has some stitch markers on there, some little crochet hooks. Randy, if you're watching, I have my unicorn poo stitch marker on here that I love. A tape measure, because you can never do without a tape measure. Darning needle. A little pair of foldable scissors. And a row counter. So that's all that's in there. Like I said, I probably could have made it a little bit smaller, but anyway. So that's what is in there. And I have other colours of this too. I probably could have made it so that it was only that tall, but anyway, just gives me more room to put more stuff in it. I've cut out a bunch of the faux leather, so I may make a few more of these. I think I'll definitely put one in my fibre share package when I send it out. So I had to stop recording because my camera shuts off at 29 minutes. But yeah, I also picked up, as far as patterns go, excuse me, I've not long eaten lunch. A pattern by, did I save? Oh yes I did. By Kelly Robinson, who is Crafted by Kelly X here on YouTube. She created a pattern for a like reusable shopping bag, and it's called Off to the Shops. Don't know if there's another photo of it in the Oh yeah, here we go. So I will just show you what it looks like. I'll put a link down below if you want to purchase this pattern. For me, it was $3 or $4 for the pattern. I haven't decided what yarn I'm going to use yet for it, but she, I remember her saying that she used fingering weight yarn held double, so it's like a DK, and I have quite a few DK yarns that I could use for it, so I'm going to try it out. And definitely go and subscribe to Kelly's channel if you haven't already. And I also, if my iPad will cooperate with me because it needs to be charged. No, it's got 14%. Should be right. Oh, and I also got Disney Plus. That's just come out in Australia. And I love a good Disney movie. I have a few on my list. I actually was watching, if you follow me on Instagram you'll have seen it, the other day. I was watching Hocus Pocus. I'd actually never watched Hocus Pocus before, so I thought, why not watch it? Anyway, off topic. It's deciding to download things. I picked up the Adventuring Scarf and Wrap by Amber O'Brien. This was the one that I used my free coupon for being a test knitter. So I got to choose any pattern in her shop, and I have quite a few kind of bits and pieces of minis that I thought I might use. I also found this. This is the Leftover Advent Scarf. I can't remember. I'll have to link down below who made this one because it doesn't actually have it written on the pattern, but it's just a scarf using you know, bits and pieces of minis. So that's another option as well for my mini skeins. I also picked up this in the group, I think it's called Free Stuff Rocks, and they have like a thread for patterns that are free forever, and then patterns that you can get free for a limited time, whether it's just the designer has decided that it's going to be free up until a certain date or time, or you use a coupon code for a certain amount of time to get it for free. And this is the Queen Bee wrap, because I need another shawl pattern, but if you go to the pattern page for it, it looks really nice. So I got that. And then I've been playing around with the idea, I was going to have to download it, Ani and Carlos, the knitted Christmas balls. I got the pattern for that as well. I think that was a free download, I'm pretty sure. So I might try my hand at that as well. And when I got the adventuring wrap, for some reason I got the cow as well in my cart. I don't know how that happened, but that's another pattern that you can use minis for. And I also obviously got a final copy of the Belle's beanie. I don't know if there's still a coupon code valid for that. I think that's past now. But I believe if you add, I think it's like 4 or 5 of Amber's patterns to your card on Ravelry, you do get some sort of discount. I'll have a look on her pattern page. I'm pretty sure that's how it went. Okay, get one free. So add 5 patterns that include, it says including ebooks, to your Ravelry cart in a single transaction and only pay for 4. It says it's will not work with any other promotion. So yeah, and let's be honest, I have so many of Amber's patterns, it's just not funny. It's a bit of a joke that, you know, when I'm retirement age, I might have finally knit all official patterns that I have, because I have quite a few. But anyway, so yeah, that is what I've been up to, what I've been doing. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're not interested in the life stuff, then I will see you guys next time. I'm hoping to record every couple of weeks. I know it's been like a month since I recorded this one, but I think 2 weeks is a good time to be able to have some things finished, because I do get an hour lunch break at work now. I've changed jobs. I'll talk about that in the life update, but yeah, I think that'll be enough time to have more things for you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching and staying subscribed. I do need to catch up on quite a few podcasts. I'm a little bit behind with that. That's what happens when new season of The Crown is released. I'm currently watching that. And You, I don't know if you guys have seen that on Netflix. It's like about a serial killer kind of thriller show. Second season of that is coming out. I believe it's Boxing Day, which is the day after Christmas, those of you who don't celebrate that. But also coming out on Boxing Day is the movie, the live action of Cats, which I'm excited to go and see. I think Mum and I might go and see it. Because as you guys know, we have 4 cats, and it'll be interesting. Speaking of cats, another pattern, I showed it to my mum. She's like, I want you to make me one of them. What should you do? I don't know if it's on here, it's on my phone. Oh, it might be in my queue actually, I think. And again, it was on the free patterns. No, maybe it's on my phone, or maybe I just didn't download it. Don't know. Might just be in my library, I think. Yeah. So it is an amigurumi, which would be interesting. It's actually a cat, and it's a free pattern. So she's like, can you make me one of them? So we'll see. I'll add it to my list, my ever-growing list. But yeah, so anyway, for those of you who are not interested in the live stuff, I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you are currently working on, or if you've finished something, let me know what you have finished, and I will see you guys next time. So those of you who are interested in the life stuff, so those of you who watched last time, excuse me, I had either just started a new job, I think, last time. I can't remember. I haven't actually watched back my last episode. That was in Bendigo, which is an hour the other side of me, and I'd left my other full-time job. Like, I'd had another casual job and then this job in between leaving my previous full-time position, if you guys will remember that. And the reason I left was because of the boss. Everybody knows that, except for her probably, but anyway. And then I moved on to that casual job, and then I got another full-time job in Bendigo. Well, that was going pretty well, and then my old boss had left that centre, and I was like, what? No way. Like, it was not that long after I'd left that she left, and I was like, anyway. So one of my friends who was on maternity leave, she was returning, and she was talking to our operations manager, and she was kind of asking, you know, how I was going and would I consider coming back and all that kind of stuff. And my friend had told me, you know, the conversation. She's like, oh yeah, you come up in conversation, da, da, da. And I was like, really? So there was a bit of negotiation, shall we say, and yeah, I left my job in Bendigo and went back to my old job. So I've been there almost 3 weeks. It'll be 3 weeks this coming week. It's been good but weird, if that makes sense. A lot of the parents and the children are excited that I'm back. So, and a lot of people keep telling me like, well, you wouldn't have been asked back if you didn't do a good job. And I'm like, I know, but it's weird. There's been a few things going on, and obviously I cannot talk about any of that stuff. But I am on some new medication, just for anxiety and helping me sleep. Which, you know, I'm not embarrassed to talk about that stuff. I've been on antidepressants before. This medication is used for various things. Anxiety, depression, fibromyalgia. It's also used for that. To help you sleep. So, various things. It is good at helping me go to sleep, I will say that. But yeah, I've just kind of taken a couple of days because I was getting headaches and I wasn't sleeping. It's all stress, which is where my knitting comes in. Like, I use my knitting as like a de-stress. Like, I could sit and knit for hours, and I do that sometimes. I will just sit down, put a show on and just knit, put a movie on and just knit. Like, it's just what I like doing. You know, some people like going to parties, or, you know, I mean, I like going shopping, but, you know, that's like my thing. I like to knit and crochet and spin and all that stuff. But anyway, so yeah, I'm kind of adjusting to that. I have to say, it's nice to sleep through the night for the first time in a while. But yeah, I'm just kind of getting used to that, and being back at my job, and yeah, so it's, yeah, and I'm still doing obviously the hour drive there and the hour drive back. I may be moving next year. I'm not 100% sure yet, where I'm looking at getting a house with one of my friends and her 2 children. She's asked me if I would consider moving with her and the kids, and like, her kids are awesome. So she's the one that I made the fox for as well. So yeah, that's kind of where going backwards and forwards and talking about that at the moment. And that's kind of another thing why I'm not really buying yarn, because I'm trying to save some money. But yeah, I'm thinking that I'm going to do a little bit of a, not necessarily a no buy, because we all know how no buys end up, but I don't really want to buy any more sock yarn until I've used up the sock yarn that I have. Because I have quite a bit of it. I could do a whole video on just my sock yarn, like, it's a bit out of hand. But I'm thinking I need to put some of my Gilmore Girls colorways into a shawl or something, because I have quite a few of them from Flock and Needle, and I feel like it needs to be something like a shawl or a cardigan or something like that. But yeah, we have had some crazy weather here. I'm sure some of you who live overseas have heard about the fires that we've had here in Australia. I don't live in that state. Like, that state is here and I'm like down here. But we did have some fire flare-ups like locally around my town over the past couple of days, which we can still smell. There's actually one that's flared up again. I actually have an app on my phone that will actually tell me Oh, okay, so it must be out because it's not coming up on the app. And it actually sends me alerts to my phone. You create like an area where you want to be notified of incidents and things that happen, and it will send you notifications when that happens, which is really handy to have, especially in summer. You wouldn't think it's summer because I've got a hoodie on, but you know, a jacket with a hood I should say. But yeah, we've had some hot days, but it's just been crazy. It's been crazy. Like one of the other weekends we had hail. Mother Nature needs to get her shit together, let's just say. But yeah, that is kind of life stuff. I think I will make a trip to the yarn shop in Malden tomorrow maybe. Mum and I are going to go to Springfest, which is a like a big market around one of the lakes in Ballarat, which is like an hour from me, which is the same town that I work in. And they have like stalls and food and craft. They have like everything and anything you could think of. It's like 6Ks around the lake, so we just park the car on one of the side streets and just walk around. One of my parents, the children in my room that I work in, she actually makes cakes and donuts and stuff, and she's got a stall there. And I've tried some of her cookies before. They're really good. She bought some in at Easter time for the staff, but I really want to try one of her cakes or her donuts because they look amazing on Instagram. So I really want to try that. And you never know what kind of things I might find there for my swap package as well, so you never know. It's always interesting to see what stalls and things you'll see. So anyway, I'm gonna go because I've been rambling on long enough here. Thank you guys so much for watching and staying subscribed, and I will see you guys in a couple of weeks, hopefully with some more finished objects.